Welcome to Lightworkers Unite, a sacred space for seekers, healers, creatives, and lightworkers.
We're your hosts, Mayume and Manjeet, and we're here to remind you who you truly are, light in human form.
Together, we explore spirituality, healing, intuition, purpose, and the magic of being alive in this extraordinary time. So take a deep breath, open your heart,
and let's walk this journey together. Okay, and here we are.
Hi.
We're live. No, we're not live. We're recording.
Hi, Mayume. How are you
Hi,
today?
Manjeet. I'm great. I love it when we say that when we've been talking for the last 4 hours together.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm great.
It's kind of awesome. It's just like a reboot. Like, oh hi, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you all day. But
How are you?
how are
Yes,
you?
but we talk, and then we say all the usual things like, why aren't we recording this? So
Yeah.
we just hit record and let's go. Let's
I
do it. What are we
know.
talking about today, Manj?
Well, that was the thing. We were talking kind of in reflection a little bit, right? We were talking a little bit about last year and what it looked like for us and,
Yes.
personally, and then also with our businesses, and then also with Lightworkers Unite. And
Yeah.
kind of the common theme was really the concept of like pausing, right? We both kind of were experiencing, and maybe our listeners can relate to this. Last year, I felt like a lot of really intentional, maybe unconscious, right? Pausing
Yes.
in a lot of things.
I
So we were
agree.
thinking about the power of the pause. Like, what does that even look like, right, for us? Why did we do
Yeah.
that? What did it look like? How was it
All
perceived
all
to
those things.
others?
How is it perceived? And how is it perceived to ourselves? Because I
Mhm.
love that we call it the power of the pause. Because
Yeah.
I think some people would think, oh my gosh, I've stopped, I've quit, I'm lazy, what happened to my mojo? What happened to my forward momentum? And here we are in this beautiful year of the fire horse, and there's a lot of shit going on currently with the Aries and Neptune and all the things astrologically.
Yeah.
So yeah, but last year, I did talk about this. We both had subconsciously put pause on areas of our life.
Yeah.
And Lightworkers Unite was one of them. We didn't podcast. I think we counted 4. Did we do 4 podcasts?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
4.
yeah, that's not really great for keeping an audience, but but but
Podcast
we had
fail.
to.
Yeah.
But we had to because we had things going on. And specifically, I think pause is, I think it's like, for me, it was emotional regulation.
Mm.
I had a lot of things going on that were on my plate, tasks, but relationships,
Yeah.
my physical self-care was also into play. And I really needed to slow things down and be very intentional of where I wanted to exude my energy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so energy, I guess, so I put a pause on my energy. And
Wow.
I think some people were affected by that,
Okay.
and not intentionally. I mean, okay, so yes, intentionally coming from me, that I'm trying to do, as you say all the time, is radical self-care.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had to put a pause on certain things and areas of my life that was draining me, that was making me feel uncomfortable and stress. And some of it was unknown, and some of it was like, I don't know how I feel about this, so I can't do anything right now.
Yeah.
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 So what's the difference between like pause and, this is coming up for me,
Yeah.
pause and paralysis?
Oh, yeah, interesting. Well, I think what's interesting about what you're saying for me is with through the lens of Lightworkers Unite, even though
Hmm.
we were pausing, on the episodes and the collaboration of podcasting and producing and all of the things that go with an episode creation, we were really focusing on the retreats, right?
That's
So
right.
it's to me, right, it
Absolutely.
was very discerning about what we were pausing because we only have a finite amount of energy, right? And this is something like I
Yes.
talk about a lot as a life coach is
Hmm.
understanding that we have like a reservoir, right, of energy. And we get to decide how we want to allocate that. And that is really that discernment. That is power. That's why we're calling it the
Yeah,
power of the pause,
that's
because
right.
we
I
paused
love
the
it.
episodes, but we did not pause the movement, right? That is
Mm,
Lightworkers Unite, where we were gathering, we were
yes,
uniting, we were creating these beautiful sanctuary
we were.
spaces. So I think our focus just shifted We
Yeah.
paused this, but we were very much a go in other
That's
areas,
true.
right?
It's so true and
Yeah.
something to celebrate. We were. I
Yeah.
agree.
So I don't know
Yeah.
about, that is really one of my big definitions of balance too, is,
Mhm.
balance is not a static place, but it is, every yes has a no,
Yep.
right? Every no has an intrinsic yes. And so what we were doing in that, what perceived like a pause, is we were actually saying no to podcasting episodes, but we were saying
Mhm.
yes to gathering and retreating,
Yeah. In
right?
person. Yeah.
In person,
For our
in
light
person.
workers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. And so besides Let Workers Unite,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I absolutely hear that. And even the year before too,
Oh,
Manjeet,
yeah.
we
Totally.
also before the retreats building up, we had massive pause too, like a slowing down of that forward momentum with our podcasts
Yeah.
and workshops and things. But I mean, that was due to a lot of factors that were going on in our lives
Mhm.
and in the world and people that we love. So I think I want to maybe speak to those light workers that might be currently feeling the pause or a pause, whether it's in their work, their job career, or perhaps is it their relationships, whether it's family, their loved ones, friends, husband, who knows? And then, or is it about our physical body? Sometimes people have to step back and say, something's going on with my vessel.
Yeah.
And I need
Yeah.
to take a pause and take a look at it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I think there's a lot to that, and I often talk about that too with when people come to talk to me about their how perplexed they are about not being in go mode. Maybe they're a lot of my women are very successful and busy and going and doing and productive and efficient and blah blah blah.
yeah,
And there's not a lot of room for forgiveness for the pause.
that's right.
So,
I
that
agree.
becomes a big part of the conversation in those moments with these highly productive people that are feeling guilty for whatever reason about pausing and stopping to breathe. And so, a
Yeah.
lot of times, you make a great point about what area in your life, whether it's physical or this. And I often talk about people in the four quadrants, right? So, like, you're a physical being, you're an emotional being, you're also an energetic being, and you're also a spiritual being. And so sometimes the pause has to happen in one of those four quadrants, right? Like if you're physically in crisis, then your body is saying, slow the fuck down. Like I need a break. I need to regroup. I need to feel stronger. I need to
Yeah.
eat better. I need to take care of my vessel, like you were just saying. But I think
Yeah.
sometimes and sometimes it's a different quadrant. Maybe it's your energy. Maybe you are around a lot of people that are not in the same frequency as you. Maybe you're around
Hmm.
people that you have always been around that aren't in the same wavelength. And these could be people in your own family. But that is an
Yeah.
energetic disconnect, which means for your own safety and your own protection, we need to pause. Yeah. And I think it's a very brave thing to do, actually.
I think so too. I do. And I think sometimes people don't know when to pause.
Yeah.
So what might be the signs? And for me, it was emotional irregularity. Like I needed
Yeah.
to regulate my energy. And so being a psychic medium, I am constantly exuding energy, connecting with
Yes.
energies, and
Yes.
so under angelic healing, which we also the angels speak to four quadrants, but it's different than yours. It's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual,
Yeah.
and so because we are human beings, the angels help us with our brain, our mind, the mental state, and the mental
Mm.
issues and the things that come up for us as humans, and so. I think that's where we get stuck and caught up and like need to lean on more of the spiritual and the emotional. So I find that exuding energy in areas of your life that and this is what you speak to about the balance of really coming to terms like wait a second, I've really just expelled all of this energy into this relationship and it is draining me and I don't want it to continue to drain me, so I must pause. I
Yeah.
must take a step back and get clarity for one. I feel like have some compassion and maybe a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I
And
think that's what the pause allows us to do.
exactly, that's the whole thing, right? The pause is very strategic. It's very, very strategic in allowing you permission, gives you permission to be in what I call process. You know, like for me,
Process, process,
for
process.
me, I know my Canadianisms are
I
coming out,
love it.
my
I
little
love it. I love
Canadian British self. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the whole part of and that's kind of like the reframe I think that wants to happen or when I'm speaking with folks about oh, I just can't get myself, motivated to do this, or I know I have to have this really powerful conversation with this person. Or, in a lot of cases, it's a project. Like there's a big project that wants to
Yeah,
happen and you're feeling a lot of pressure to get it done, but you're not there. So
yeah,
it's like your body is saying, I'm not ready to write this yet. I'm not ready
I
to do
agree.
that project, or create this workshop or whatever it is, if it's a project or a person, it's that
Mhm.
same frequency of resistance. And so when you
Yes,
feel the resistance,
resistance. Mhm.
that is absolutely the first key, right? Don't you agree, Mayim?
Yeah,
When you
I
feel the
do.
resistance, that is your body and your heart and your mind and your spirit and your soul going, I need to stop. I need to breathe
Mm,
and I need to fucking pause. I
that's
need to
right. I need
process this.
Yeah, I need clarity, what's going on.
Yeah.
I agree, I love that, and I have always said this, it's a famous saying, "What we resist persists,"
Hmm.
if it does. So, where in your life are you feeling resistance? Because it needs to be looked at.
Yeah.
Something needs to be looked at there, like, "Why do I have resistance to this? What do I need to
Hmm.
do?" And the pause really allows us to stop and get clarity and maybe change the the vantage point, where am I coming from? I think it's very powerful, and I'm an Aries, and so the Aries in me, not in all aspects of my life. I'm not a full blown Aries, but I have a lot of Sun energy, and so I do want to move. I do want to go. I want to get shit done. I want to plan. That's my favorite part. Is like let's plan and let's go. Let's
She's
execute.
not lying. It's very true.
So, but
I love it
I
though.
have to, no, and sometimes it serves and sometimes it
Mhm,
doesn't, right? And
mhm.
so when I notice the resistance of like, "Ooh, I don't want to move forward here,"
Yeah. You listen.
that's where I do. And I
Yeah.
think all of us light workers and intuitive, beautiful beings, kids should probably spend more time getting quiet and listening like, okay, where in my life, why am I having resistance to this? What
Yeah.
does this mean for me? How am I feeling emotionally?
Yeah.
All the things.
And give yourself that permission, right? And I think that
Yeah.
bandwidth, that space to go, "Ooh, why do I have resistance here?" Right? And then what happens next is quite magical and quite powerful. I always think of a pause too, like when you're reading a book, right? There's a sentence and then there's a period, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Like that period in literature is very strategic. It's meant
That's
for you
right.
to stop and process what you've just read,
That's right.
right? So it's the same with life, right? It's the same mechanism of stopping and processing. And how many of you have actually read like a really great book and then like reread a paragraph, right? You
Oh my gosh.
reread a
Yes.
line. It's because
Yeah.
you are like, wow, this is so beautifully
Yes.
written. It's touching your heart, right? You're processing. That's
Oh
the
my
same
God.
thing
I
with
love that you said
life,
it.
right?
Absolutely. You just had me because that happens to me a lot where I'm reading something and I will actually
Yeah.
close the book and look up and go, oh,
I have
like
to
I'm
read that
soaking it
again.
in.
It's yeah.
Like, oh my
That's
gosh. Yeah. I just need to take it
right.
all in. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
and what
true.
if that's the same
Yeah.
with life, right? That's how I often
Yeah.
try to explain and what happens is it's a paradigm shift. It really is when you can really wrap your arms around the fact that there are moments in our life where one of our quadrants, one part of our mind and our body, our heart, our spirit, our energy, or our emotional well-being is requiring and asking us to pause. When we
Yeah.
when we give ourselves permission to do that, for me, that is the ultimate self-care act, right?
It
That is
is.
absolutely the most selfless thing that you could possibly do for yourself because what you're doing is you're saying, my energy matters.
Yeah.
My emotional well being fucking matters. My physical temple is important. And my
Mm-hmm.
spiritual sanity
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely critical. And if it means I need to tell everybody to just fuck all the way off for just a minute, you go and do that, you know?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, Misty.
That's oh, bless you.
Phew!
It
Sneeze on
just
the truth. Okay.
yay, I know.
Whew.
It's a really interesting thing, you know. So like number 1, notice the resistance. Notice the resistance to going into very deliberate action in your life and then stop and breathe and ask yourself the question, what is this resistance? What is
Yeah.
going on here? And do I need to pause? Do I need a
Yeah.
strategic pause in my life?
So let me ask you, because I think a lot of people, especially our light worker listeners, will find themselves, especially with if you're doing energy work like us, that yeah, we have to really honor the times that we are feeling depleted and really honor our vessel and our energy and the relationships and boundaries, all the things that come with being a light worker. So when
Yeah.
it comes to say relationships and say close friends or family,
Yeah.
how might one kind of communicate or share with the other if I'm in pause?
Yeah.
If I've like suddenly, I need to, instead of driving right now, I'm going to go take a little nap in the back seat and recharge and, watch from back here what's going on, get a better vantage point or a different perception. No,
Perspective.
perspective. I
I'm
like
like,
that.
I
That's the
think
wrong
that's what
word.
she's getting at.
That's yeah, I'm like, "How come I can't come up with that word?" And so,
Yeah,
how would we better help those around us that are like, "What's going
yeah,
on? Are you okay?"
yeah,
And, "Boy, I noticed you haven't been responding like you usually do," or, "How come you haven't been joining the walks?" Or so what
yeah,
might one do to help communicate that they're
yeah.
in pause? What does that look like?
It's a great question. I know I think the first thing is literally what you were talking about earlier. Actually it starts with you. It starts with
Mhm.
you having the self-awareness that this is what you're consciously doing. That's
Yeah,
why we're talking about, when we feel resistance, what is happening in my psyche and my heart and my mind. Once you come to the decision and understanding and you give yourself permission to pause, right? Then it becomes a lot clearer to communicate that to people. So that self-awareness I think is number 1. And a lot of times what ends up happening is we need a break from somebody. We're talking about people
yeah,
in particular or a project or whatever. We need a break from that person, but we don't even understand why or what is happening. We don't understand the resistance. So what we do is we just end up cutting it off
yeah,
unintentionally. It's
right.
not intentional, but that's how it might look. And it's only because maybe we've been drowning. Maybe we
Yeah,
have been in our bandwidth is gone. We're
yeah,
in full what I call survival mode.
yeah,
And
fight or flight. Mhm,
we don't have the
mhm,
resources or
mhm.
or even so communicating it is off the table because you're not clear. So it
Yeah,
all I love the question because that is exactly what, the whole coaching process is about. It's about getting really clear about what is going on with you first. Then we're able to strategize and then create the plan that we need. Then we're able to go, okay, I'm in pause mode. I cannot give anything to you because I am empty. So,
that's
not
right.
only in this pause mode, I'm in pause mode because I cannot handle the situation or your perspectives or whatever it is that you're going through. I also need to fill my cup, and
Yeah,
you're drowning. And so that
yeah,
might be what the conversation looks like: is meeting that person and just saying, "Here's the deal.
yeah,
I am in survival mode, and I need a
right.
break. I need to take some time to breathe and fill my cup." But, and that is also gonna allow you to be impeccable with your word. So all of you listeners that
Right.
know the 4
Mhm.
agreements,
Oh, yes, we
we
love the
love
4
that book. That's
agreements.
one of my favorite
Love it so
books. I
much.
read it every
Yeah,
January.
yep,
I recommend it to all of my clients. But that is one of the 4 agreements is to be impeccable
mhm,
with your word. Now, can
mhm.
you be impeccable with your word if you're in survival mode?
That's right, that's why I feel like sometimes it's no words
Yeah,
because
exactly.
nothing's coming out,
Yeah.
or, it's coming out in a wrong way, in a different
Yes.
way, because I either don't have clarity, or I'm working from emotions, or because I
Yes.
am drowning. So what do people do when they drown? They're kind of flailing and
Yes.
saying things, so yeah, I
And
think
that's
that
when
is very
communication
important.
gets sticky, right? That this is
Yes.
so I love, love, love this question so much because when we're processing these deep things, we want to articulate it to the people that we love and the people that are around us, but we also need to give ourselves the grace and the permission to be in that process so that we can heal
Mhm.
and we can start to formulate a plan to get back on track and then also to articulate that to other people that we love
Yeah.
and be
Right.
impeccable with our word. That's the biggest thing is when we're in those
That's right.
survival mode spaces, our communication gets really messy. Let's be
Oh,
real.
yeah.
So I mean,
Yes.
I love that your silence is actually preventing more chaos and confusion. But
I
if that's
agree.
not articulated to that person, then it might feel like a riff or something's not quite
Oh, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
But that
No,
isn't our
yeah. My
intention.
husband has a tendency to um, let it bottle up, right? He won't
Yeah.
speak about it. He won't say
Sure.
that he's in pause. And then it kind of, I always say, like, oh my gosh, your lava is forming. And so it's like a
Mhm.
volcano that is about to erupt, and it comes out like this because he
Oh,
didn't take time to get clarity of how he was feeling.
yeah.
Sorry that I'm calling out my husband here. But yeah, and he would admit this because he says it all the time, like, "I'm sorry, I let it build and then I just exploded, and that's not what I wanted to really say. It wasn't really about that." All those
Yeah.
things. So I think this is where the power of the pause could come in handy, even just in daily things and
Yeah.
your most beloved relationships that you have with your people, is to really get awareness of what's going on with you. How are you feeling? And speaking to it in a way that, like, hey, you know what? I can't speak to that right now, and I have something I need to say or share. I just need some time to get clarity
Yeah.
and come from a place of love and integrity when I do share,
Yeah.
so that there's no harm. Yeah.
Yeah. No
But
harm done.
I would rather that he was silent instead of exploding, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but he's silent until he's not, right? And this is what
y-
happens. This is what happens with a lot of
mhm.
people. And that's why I created the
Well,
one,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5 your life, right? That's
Yeah.
the my formula for an intentional life. And that is exactly what you're describing. It is when you're feeling the resistance and you're in that
Mhm.
moment, you're having a full body reaction to a situation or a person or a project. That's
Yeah.
when you go, I need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One is stop. That's pause, right?
Mhm.
Number 2 is breathe, and that activates your parasympathetic nervous system. So you start to get out of that fight and flight. You said that beautifully. You're in fight or flight mode when you're in survival mode. And you can just lash out. But breath, and that's why breath work is so powerful and popular
So
right
powerful.
now.
Yeah.
It brings you into a place into your body, and it brings you into that place of rest and digest. So
Yeah.
that is very powerful. So you stop and breathe. And then number 3 is you analyze, you ask yourself a question. And that's exactly what you're proposing here is you're saying, what am I resisting? What am
Yeah.
I resisting right now? Why do I have resistance talking to this person? Right? Ask yourself the question
Right.
so that you can get clarity.
So you're saying that John, that was his pause, when he was silent,
Yeah.
and maybe he needed to fucking
Analyze.
breathe first?
Yes, he needed to breathe. Yes.
Just
And
kidding.
analyze, right? Because if he were to
Yeah, like,
analyze, he could
yeah.
ask himself the question, like, what is really bothering me?
Yeah,
Like, what
right,
is
because
the
that's what it's, yeah.
real problem here?
What
Because
is there? Yeah,
it's
yeah.
exaggerated and it's been saved and percolating, and now it's like a
Now it's
lava
lava.
eruption. Yeah. But if we don't analyze, we don't
Oh,
ask ourselves that really powerful question, like, what is the resistance? A lot of times I'll ask myself, what is in my best and highest good right now? What does Manjeet need? What does my heart need right now? And if the answer is my heart needs space, you go to number 4. And that is where you make the
mm,
decision. So, number 4, you say, I am choosing, right? I am
mhm,
absolutely choosing right now to keep a distance from this person because it's in my best interest. And that's
mhm.
a very powerful decision to make, right? And
Yeah,
like for sweet Johnny, it might be, His decision might be, I need to have a conversation about what's really going on with my wife and my kids or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I need to tell them exactly what it
right.
is that really pissed me off because they deserve to know
Yeah,
and I deserve to tell them. So
that's
that
right.
might be his decision. But number 5 is really critical. Number 5 is now you have to do it. So it's stop, breathe, analyze, decide, and then you got to do it. So this
Yeah,
is where rubber hits the road. Is that how you say it?
I don't
Rubber?
know.
I don't know.
You're asking the wrong person about that.
Maybe I can't do sayings,
I'm
but
like,
we
"What?"
try anyways. I think it's when the rubber meets the road, something like that. Okay, your listeners
I
don't
don't
have
know
to tell me.
anything about rubber. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
But that's when like you have to go into action. So this is
Yeah,
where Johnny would say, "Okay, we're having a family meeting, right? I
yeah.
have these things I want to articulate that have been
Yep,
brewing and or whatever, right?" And then for
agreed.
that person that you're needing to separate, that's where you actually say, "Listen, you might be feeling separation from me in this moment, but I want to be very clear with you. This is a pause so that I can process all of the emotions and all of the things that are happening with me because I value our relationship and I want to be impeccable with my word."
That's right. Yeah.
Wow,
Are you
done,
listening, Johnny?
done.
Maybe I'll just forward this right to him. No. It all worked out. And come to find the bottom line was he just wanted to spend more time with me
Oh, yeah.
because
I
he felt
love
like
it.
I was spending all my time, like with you and with
Oops.
work, with guided gatherings and other
Yeah.
people. And he wasn't wrong. It's just the way he went about it was,
Yeah.
all the other things that weren't part of what was making him upset. So
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, getting back to the pause, I think for me, uh, acknowledging it, noticing like, oh, this is how I'm feeling. I feel irregulated. Is that a word? Yeah,
Yeah.
dysregulated, whatever the term is.
Dysregulated. Yeah.
I emotionally, that's usually when I know that I have to pause when that
Yeah.
happens for myself.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a
I have
really
to step away.
powerful observation to make. And I think, we started this episode with this is the year of the Aries fire fucking horse and everything is go, go, go. And I'm sure a lot of folks are feeling a lot of that forward momentum, not just within them, but also all around them.
Oh
So
yeah,
there's this feeling of like, "Ooh, do I need to catch up? Like, am I behind?" Like
yeah.
you start because it's really in the ether right now. This powerful movement going forward, and so that's where and we kind of
Hmm.
touched on this with our fire horse episode, which we did. I can't remember what number it is, but if you
Yes.
haven't heard it, please listen because it's a really great way to talk about how we're coming out of the year of the snake and into the year of the fire horse, which is a real
Yeah.
powerful momentum
A
energy
big
movement.
shift. Yeah.
So I just think it kind of it sits beautifully with that one, doesn't it? It kind of fits with that episode because really, when we do say go, 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 we feel like we need to move. In that motion, there are absolutely powerful moments of peace and quiet, and that pause is powerful. And if you reframe it into pausing equaling processing, that might be just
Hmm.
the shift that you need to give yourself permission to go there. Yeah,
That's a lot of peas
that's a
there.
lot of
I love
peace.
that.
P's and Q's.
Oh my gosh. Yes. No, but
Yeah.
I like it. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And so, something that I was just reading here, the pause can look like silence.
Yeah.
It could look like prayer,
Mm,
meditation, journaling, boundaries, saying no, what you're
yeah.
speaking to,
Love it.
asking for help. I love that.
Mm.
Going outside, right? Sometimes we just need to actually get outside in nature and
Yeah.
choosing sleep over proving yourself. I kind of
Ooh,
love that one.
yeah.
Um,
Sleep. Yeah.
yeah,
Naps.
sleep is,
Resting.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah, really
there's a
feeding your
lot
soul.
of value in that power nap. I tell you, man. There have
Oh
been
my
a
gosh,
lot of
same.
times this year I've been like,
Yeah.
wow, why am I so bloody tired? And yeah, nothing feels
And the power
better.
nap does it. Like, right?
Crawling into
Raise your
bed.
hand if you
Yeah.
guys do power naps. Yes. Seriously, the
Yeah.
power nap to me, if you can figure out how to do it, everyone, it is worth it. You just
I
set that
agree.
little timer and you just close your eyes, you breathe, and don't worry if it takes, a couple of minutes to get there, but you do and you go in hard
Yeah.
and it is deep and restful and you come out, that alarm goes off. And
Yeah.
yes, you want to hit snooze and do it again, but don't. Just get up
Yeah.
and start moving. And it feeds you.
Yeah,
It
it's really a
feeds
game
you.
changer. Yeah, if
It
you can do
is.
it, and I know a lot of people think they can't, and
Right.
they've,
Or they do it too long,
yeah,
I think.
that's the key. I think it's like
That
20
is the
minutes
key.
max, right?
Max.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another really powerful thing I know I really love to do when I'm, and this is also when I'm pausing or in process. It might look like just like reading, right? Just
Oh,
or
yeah.
in a lot of cases, I love the journaling that you suggested, but also
Mhm.
like it's like watching dead head shows, right? It's really
Yeah.
like about
Well,
disconnecting.
they call it brain rot, which I think is a terrible
Yeah.
term because I feel like I'm feeding my brain with rest
I know. My sister calls
and
it
not
brain
rot.
candy. That's what she calls
Oh,
it. Brain
see?
candy. Yeah. It's like,
God
"Ooh, I'm
bless you,
feeling."
Belby. I love you,
It's
Belby.
just a reframe, right?
Oh,
Versus run. But, to giving yourself permission to just go, "You know what? I'm just gonna disconnect today. I'm gonna grab a glass of
mhm,
wine and I'm just gonna cuddle on
mhm.
the couch and I'm just gonna like go into that place," because what's happening is you might look like you're just watching some, you know, my, like crazy silly show, but what's happening in your subconscious and on an energetic level and on a spiritual level, it's profound. So
Yes,
give yourself
agreed.
permission, to just
Give
do what you
yourself
need to
permission
do in
to
the
fill your
pause.
cup. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I agree. I think it's I matter. I'm not selfish, and this time is sacred. That's how I feel.
I love
Like, I
it.
need to honor that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
and not have any guilt associated or all the shoulds like you always speak to, like, no,
Yeah.
I need this time, whether
Yeah.
it's relationships, whether it's self-care, whether it's, yeah, even knowing that, my business is, my work isn't moving at the level because I'm comparing myself and trying
Yeah.
to compete. And so, everyone, you are exactly where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think my pause sometimes means meditation. I do a
Yeah.
lot of meditating and groups, and I like going into that selenite cave
Mhm.
to recharge. And it
Love
feels
it.
so good
Yeah.
ah, just to quiet the mind.
Yeah, and just being mindful of your language. I think this is a really important thing.
Mhm.
So instead of saying something like "I need this," you say "I choose this." You
Yeah.
see that there's a
Yeah.
huge change in frequency, right? Saying "I
Absolutely.
choose to take this
Mhm.
time for me," and then also being very clear about the why, right? So
Mhm.
using that brain language to say, "I choose this. I decided to do this. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm not craving it. I am fucking owning this decision, right? I am in it and I choose it and I am this decision." But then
Mhm.
also really being conscious around the why, and the why being, I am filling my cup. This is a very strategic action that I am doing in this moment. Brain candy, rotting,
Yes.
whatever,
I
right?
love it.
Sitting, watching your
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
And I know I've been watching Bridgerton, so I
Yeah.
know. And it's so fun. And it's,
Behind. I'm sorry that was
I'm so behind.
we're way past.
I know, you got me started on it again. I'd watched the first episode and then the season, and then I kinda dropped it, and I was like, and you were like, "Girl,
Excuse me,
it
there's
gets
4 more episodes.
hello." So,
Go.
yeah, I am loving it, right? I'm loving, like, that,
Loving it.
and every time I put it on, and
Yeah.
it's kinda near the end of the day for me, and I'm very like, I'm saying no to finishing up some of those work emails, but then
Yeah.
and I'm saying yes to this because I know that this is gonna fill my cup. This is gonna help
That's right.
me feel good and just,
Feel good.
yeah, and it's just for me,
Yeah.
and I get to do that. So,
I
you know,
love that. Yeah, love
reframing
it.
that for yourself, right? Saying
Mhm.
like, "This is for me, and I choose
This is
this, and
right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking do it. I'm gonna have a great
That's
time."
right. So, what do you
Yeah.
say? So everyone just fuck all the way off. I agree.
Yes!
And thank you, Belby, for calling it brain candy because that's exactly how I feel about it.
Yes, yes. So do what you gotta do in the
Exactly.
pause, our sweet,
Yeah,
sweet
I
light
love
workers,
it.
and I would love I wouldn't you mean I would love to hear,
Mhm.
from our listeners, what do you do in the pause that maybe
Yeah,
you didn't realize you were doing? Now,
that's
like
right.
now that you've listened to this, what are some of those things that you're doing right now or you have been doing in the pause in order to refuel, to fill your cup? I think you'll
That's
be
right.
really surprised to know that you have been unconsciously doing some really powerful things and
Yeah.
embracing the power of the pause all along.
All along, you were
All
already doing
along.
it, light worker. And if you
Yeah.
haven't been, now you can start knowing that it is going to feed your soul, feed your
Yes.
energy, fill your cup. And you're meant to do that. It's
Yes.
okay. You have permission.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we give you permission.
We give you permission. Maybe even Manjeet give you permission.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's some brain candy. Yeah.
I love it.
I
I
love it
love
too.
it.
Wow.
Oh, well, thank you,
That's
ma'am.
great.
That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I really, really
That was fun.
love talking
Yeah.
about
Me too.
that, especially during this really crazy time of the year, the fire horse, where, we
Yeah.
might be feeling a lot of
Yeah.
pressure to go into action, but man, balance, balance, balance. It's everything right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah, it is. And so honor how you guys are feeling, fill those cups and do it more with love and joy and the things that make you giggle, the
Yeah.
things that really do feed your soul. That is so important. And I have
Yeah.
to remind myself every day, what am I doing today that's going to feed Mayum's soul,
Yeah.
that makes me happy, even if it's this big,
Mhm.
because that's why we're really here, is to
Yeah.
have an enjoyable and beautiful, joyous? That sounded weird. Joyous human experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
I love it. Yes. So we love you. We love you, light workers.
Yes. Thanks
And
for
we
joining
hope,
us,
thank you for
everybody.
listening. Mwah. Can't wait to hear back from everyone about this
Yes.
one.
Thank
So fun.
yes. Please reach out. How can they reach out? Let's reach out to us on Instagram. We
Yes.
are Lightworkers. We are Mayume Manjeet on Instagram, and
Yep.
then on our YouTube channel
Yep. The
also.
YouTubes.
Lightworkers Unite. We read all the comments. We read everything. So reach out to
Yeah.
us. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love
Yay.
you.
Love you
Namaste,
guys.
everybody.
All
Mwah.
right. Bye. Bye, Manj.
Bye.
Thank you for sharing this sacred space with us on Lightworkers Unite.
Remember, your light matters, your presence matters, and your journey is unfolding exactly as it should.
If today's episode stirred something in your heart, trust that it was meant for you.
From our hearts to yours,
May your path be lit,
your spirit strong, and your light be seen.
This podcast is for educational and inspirational purposes only.
The content shared is not intended to replace professional, medical, psychological, legal, or financial advice.
Always seek the guidance of qualified professionals regarding your personal situation.
Thank you.